discussion about how to become a competent economic development professional in this broadcast. As we've been discussing, in my view, there are 3 steps that one can take to become a competent economic development professional. The first step is to know what competence means in economic development. The second is to have a clear understanding of the attributes of a competent economic development professional. And in today's episode, what I thought I would go through are the things that I consider the requirements the attributes of a competent economic development professional. I think I spoke basically about the basic knowledge that's required to be a competent economic development professional. I spoke about the educational background and the vocational study and the continuous professional development that's required. Today's episode is to talk about the creativity and dynamism as an attribute of a competent economic development professional. And I split that into 2, one's attitude and the flexibility ability. As a competent economic development professional, these are the attitude that you need to have. If you have this attitude, the likeliness is you'll be a competent economic development professional. Listen. You have to cultivate the habit of listening to your partners, to your colleagues, to your beneficiaries. Because in listening, you begin to understand the nuances and triggers that really gets people to change their behavior for the better, at least to buy into your interventions. This will help in designing interventions as well. Learning mentality. You have to be clear that you have absolutely no knowledge, and the knowledge you bring is a different perspective of the challenges that you're trying to resolve. It's then important to listen, learn from your beneficiaries and your partners when you're designing or you're engaging with any pro-poor challenges. Collaborative approach. It continues the theme of the right attitude. The attitude is not for you to go and prescribe solution to a problem. It's for you to collaboratively identify what the issue is and hopefully create a solution that will resolve the problem. And the other part of this is validation. It is important to recognize the fact that all of the stuff that you might come across in the meeting, with your colleagues, a meeting with your partner, or some meeting with beneficiaries, these are all assumptions that should be tested. If you work closely with the monitoring and evaluation team, you can design a tool that will help you test some of the ideas, some of the assumptions that you may have. The other really important attitude to have as a competent economic development professional is experimenting. It has to be clear to you that what you're doing is either changing people's business model, changing their behavior in one way or the other. It doesn't mean that you can see the future. Some of the things that you will come up with, even if they are collaboratively designed, may work. Some of it will not work. So it's important for you to not shut any idea down and just experiment and hope that you can get to a point where this will be useful in terms of designing an effective, impactful economic development intervention. So these are the attitudes that I think a competent economic development professional must have in order to thrive and do well in economic development. And tomorrow, we should continue this discussion by looking at flexibility. And there are things that I will talk to you about under flexibility. Please, I'm sure I'm not covering all of the attributes of a competent economic development professional. Any ideas that you have, please write them in the comments below. And if you want to join the broadcast, please welcome.